And I don't answer no Ghana for now we must begin to question our taste and preference for these things. Yeah.
One of the issues that I was even raising yesterday, 2 days ago, when we were having discussion on this topic about politics of insult, crime, and professionalism, I was asking, can we even attribute it to politicians owning radio and media platforms now? Is it what is actually contributing to it? Because at the end of the day, say station near media and I'm employee, you do my bidding and you do the bidding of my political party. So if I think abusive work or attacking my opponents in a very aggressive and abusive manner is what it is, not the owner of the station, not me the national media. The journalist has no, at the end of the day, it's your daily bread, you understand me? So you cannot question your boss when he's ranting, and dissing people from the opposition party. You are helpless. So is it about time that the NCA and all these regulatory institutions and so on, they see and sit back and say, who do we give licenses to operate in when it comes to media in Ghana? Because I think it's also not helping.
Well, I think say Kahun, but that's not the only reason. Kahun, but that's not the only reason. And Kahun because see over the years, the politicians so someone say you can't afford estate now because our power now media wanted the power of influence they wanted it, and because I'm try so many times so many influence yeah media people no, and some of us no yeah influenceable into no. Who say no any to radio stations no. Until now they started sharing the frequencies among themselves. What the heck? Because you know, me no me no nyina ye adwuma multimedia na na ye adwuma multimedia. We know how ye ona no kwesi tumote despite untumi nkoto no. What I say, but onim say ono akobie radio station no kofa boys ni be free regions on your bet now and then they start doing their bidding. That's where it started. But that's not the only thing. Na ya can say be to say greed so kan. Even here so called trained journalists no. Ebi so ono ma any brinty no akoji ska. No aligning no with one na ya wa discuss say unua we because unua we share balance journalism ti fanana ya si board na di na tem shut the person up until multifaceted.
The mainstream and those who are not maybe our radio stations, TV stations are any owned by political people. As we speak, maybe feel Ghana and Kenya. I can tell you, say those who are only their politicians, politicians are infiltrating nothing. You know, they are businessmen and they also want to make money. If you just towards a certain line, they ship them in line. And now they are even shipping or more a year. They are doing genuine work, practicing journalism, you know, detecting what should be said or what not should be. Yemubi, as you said, there are some who like the people themselves almost will say be or be catch yourself and there what the fire
I agree with you, yeah.
They are trying to fade the brain now, more independent, you know, just they are trying to silence you small so that I mean the others who are fanatics or who would be shipped in line, no, easily, no, bring them on board. And even those stations now, they be independent, no, they be who, I mean, honestly, I mean, it's not easy for them. They are threatening them.
Absolutely right.
And nobody any family or trying to suspend. Are they better? They are changing the show. They are moving.
Yeah.
Let's just say,
Very true.
As I mean, the whole almost everywhere is milky. Like from you have to belong here or there. If you're not, you are in the middle.
And I think I'm with you with sound. I think it's because Vim, your microphone you have to mute it when Nana is talking. They are getting a
Oh, okay. Yo. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Then Nana, let me see.
And then if you look at the landscape, the media landscape at the moment, for the past about 16 years, media people who we know to be very bad. I be on him so wait there. As some more can utie the okana. These are facts. Giving facts and figures about issues. No. And they after a while party but no management we banning a paid mama we banty. As I said, it's not a you might think oh, but it's a deliberate way of trying to sieve off the ones that are themselves who are able to speak out without fear or favor. Obi tinchos anakwena oh yeah you say oh yeah you no MPP ni say oh yeah you not necessarily so. But they also know how these people Juma omo yene affect omo Juma as politicians. So they entice them with bigger jobs. Yes, we Juma obi enim say Juma akatua nye incentive papa bi ani ho. Just say enkoye edin ne kwa enti with a little enticement giving you a better amount of money to be work oil company.
Without a Okotokomunye.
What am doing? Afia mute home.
Now me say mama yen free on yen call the issue of your friend saying the shift between Abroche and depression. No, I think some time ago, the last year been a video. Not Sandra Crack now no esinam kase like ufi Ghana kwa Abroche obi ani mu onye obi like that cultural shift no.
Sister, one day your fashion sense. Come say me say we have me fashionable. Me share me heel fit and up and me share be chache. Me just say me share heel sisi coming to be nanti mo. Say, sister, oh beautiful, beautiful. Now we are mistake right now. You're in like conservative states, like red states. I say Brefo, where they don't really care about anybody, sister. Hey, you have to be deliberate to look good. I'm not even exaggerating because nobody cares about you. You walk into the store, nobody's even looking at you. Those days, you drive into your workplace and you pull in your car, everybody's watching. Who cares about the car you're even driving, sister? Obia phone. Obia, you obia ukroma. Yeah. So, I mean, it's one of the things that I struggled in the beginning when I came. It's almost 6 years now. I struggled to really integrate. It was really bad for me. I thought I was depressed at a point. So, and not that I thought, I think I was depressed because I have to, and I maybe we in a postpartum crash because I didn't even have anybody to talk to. It was just a lot for me.
My God.
Yeah, it was a lot for me. I think Vim and I talk every time, and I tell her, Charlie, sister, I want to go. I'll tell my husband, me them pese me come chrome. He say, Brinka, by now, mapo eju mama kwa tina plus 2 to be a me boom me near GP, or you see people to interact with, but it's really difficult. And then also that transition, you're used to doing something for a long time, about 20 years in the media, and then you find yourself at home and in a different environment and thinking, what can I do that I'll be happy about? Even finding the right job is always an issue. And you don't want, and because of that, my dears, me, I've been home for 6 years. The mini America Kurum Hamid and Metifi. You know, it's a lot, and it's getting better for me now because, of course, kids have come in and they keep me busy at home. But it's difficult for a long time, and that's how I started my live on TikTok now, just to get back to work.
At least just to keep you busy,
Yes, just to keep me busy. I've been through a lot. There are days that I could even wake up and I'll just be crying like, what is this cruel way? Can I survive it? I don't think I can survive, but here we are at the end of the day.
And I will baby, I want to be before you and be before.
No, I'm a spiritual Brefo state. So it's not even like the New York that you see.
Because I'm going to Bronx there. Oh, that's what I'm to Ghana with
you know, that's what the life is. To say, you have say, you don't even see like the vibrant public transporter. You even go and sit in a train, you see, no, everybody drives. You are driving, you're going out, you go to the shop, you come back into your room. You hardly see your neighbors, especially when the weather even changes. Sometimes best 6 months, no home.
Wow.
Unless summer comes, you come to the backyard, you see people say, "How you doing?" That's the end of it, my dear.
Sister Bia sending message or him or see when you almost to get used to it. I say Ghana now you'll be and I'll be going to hill so they guarantee so that I will be I will tell you.
You know one of the funny things when I came, honestly, because me I love to dress. I wasn't just shopping in Melbourne. I call Macy's, I call Nordstrom, I call Toto shoes,
I
bags.
open designer.
Me Towie and sisters, then you know them. I haven't been anywhere with these shoes and bags. Me didn't call her.
Nana, I also share experience way.
Well, naturally, me Ghana no. I don't know. Say if yeah, not koba. I think we are used to that kind of subino. Ghana na assume shada ampa nanti ni epipi. Auntie, me kwatena ne shada ni menu so that auntie. I say it's a bit boring. My issue is the fact that I'm not working at all and I'm just home, just as she's saying, just being home the whole day. Mommy yada crowd and that's my fear. That's a big problem for me. Very big, huge problem for me. Say me to hona mini free here na me da na pa ho so ya betra TV ho sa na ade channel asa kwada ade asa. Ghana so anka me come o me twa me ho say Fred or radio station so even if it's 4 hours, 3 hours, you've gone out, you've worked, you've contributed your quota. I mean sometimes with the social media you want to say something like I said like meanwhile here you cannot have it that way. It's not easy. So many years. Charlie, it's so easy. Knowing like who you are, she said, Sandy, how are all Ghana, the name you have, the fame, you work out and how people I mean, here so be Ghana ni just African food be African market be so say be ya be sure be crowd be boarding keke ma we feel say still cry me ho and why a problem
Oh no be asa. I don't face the pressure obenya.
Onyobia.
But I just say better. But your mom want no ebi mo nso I'm saying about Mr. Bonsu Kobe any more send a gift. I think more priority Rockman I think on about first but Obekasa. Anything from beginning or the cultural issues I can watch them all the way to young promoting your mamre no every group behind any media for their be and depression the cultural shocks no.
Sister Afia.
Yes sir.
Imamu nyina good evening. Na mani agye pa se maba o platform yi so a watimi apeke me up. In fact, o peke me na say, "Hey, you ready? Baby, I'm daddy, my day because sister."
Yeah, that's I follow in an Sandra so Sandelicious and another Brefo down. So I follow Munina. So why?
Ma follow.
We have more discussions like this, Ntino.
Ma follow Munina na in fact, ye mami and say I'm watching na boye yes sisters binu mu a me de mani adi mochi ache na metimu se mu wa akukuduro ne ne eden ne adwene nimdi a ye de yensentwero adwuma ntimu mu se me humu a na mo kasa me hyeda tie mo kasa yi na mafam aba nti yakopon hyira mo ane adwuma den a mo wo Ghana mo abo mo man Ghana na ndane ne nyina mo gusu a mo san ekyerekere ye no ma ebeboa ye culture ne ade nti yakopon hyira mo na meba ende na mo kan ye hawa bloggers omosi ye omo no na mbepie so na eye no kore in fact enam say ye nuan mo bloggers for ni bi obi wo ho a wonim hawa asemsi kura na obesi report ne ade nti ade akura ni kwan so de camera etoso kura na de camera atoso se wo hwe hawa ye papa mu omkonya accident ewo ekokoafu emu helicopter ya na ehu hia mposanka ombetwa ni esi yese nipa awu na yaseso omogu kutukum yemfa ne se ebia no ma bia na wasa komode kono omode yesa de na ebi ni ho nti ahun preprenti omafa kokko oboto na esi den na mutwa de ba bonte won Ghana ebi wo obi wo ho asem ni si yo pese won yenka se onokura na edikan epie so nti because of that no ma bi eni kwa so mo ye kura na mo ye and said ye mo ma ye adwuma na che me pesa kan kan bia no betimi akyerɛkyerɛ nneɛma bi sei ɛkwan a yɛfa so a yɛyɛ nsɛntwerɛ adwuma mesrɛ mo mongye nto mo ho so because wei a mokan yɛwɔ mpanimfoɔ bi wɔ hɔ a wei yɛ ɔmo adwuma but ɔmo nyɛ na mo deɛ nam sɛ adwuma mu ayɛ akyɛ mu betumi abɛyɛ nkyerɛkyerɛ ɛwɔ TikTok wa me yɛnua baako wɔ aseɛ hɔ in fact maame nkyia no yɛfrɛ no Clement powerful Clement saa na wayɛ na yi no ɔyɛ obi a me tatie ne nsɛmpa because how we see ɔyɛ ne blogging no sɛde obesi akyerɛkyerɛ asɛm nim ama wɔnya asɛm mu nti aseɛ no in fact mani gye ne blogging ho paa nti Clement wo aseɛ hɔ a mekyia Onyankopɔn hyira ɛne adwuma pa a wobɔ nti me deɛ mani gye momɔ mɔden asɛm bɛkyerɛkyerɛ yɛn me nso mekasa meyɛ papa Canada akɔmprɛko Japan
okay.
Na Honorable Canada Japan de agya maame nkyia no na mankyia no kora nyɛ yie akora mekyia baabi a ɔnam bia wo ne tim no Nyankopɔn nhyira mo no nka mo ho oni mo anim tata baabi a mokɔ bia no ɔno Nyankopɔn no soma abɔfo no mfa mkɔduru dwojo na menim sɛ
yo misa yi yɛda se bebree yɛda se yɛmfa Mr. Bonsu ana Kobe bless yɛmfa wasane akɔ Mr. Bonsu hɔ
yo really need this opportunity make sure I'll be on platform in fact my enjoy conversation but with issue about blogging and the traditional media no I think that your journalism no based on your culture because social back in Ghana obiadi Afia there's that kind of curiosity your media your cultural settings no nti ya infuse that kind of culture no into our journalism and which to say is modern day journalism nti ayana fine o hwe abrofo mo de sa social media na ba na o hwe mo so cultural setting na a bit more private obia di ne fi asem so that curiosity no there's that kind of protective wo ho and that is where I think say what they compare ye or modern na differences in a womb but I think say your koswa na ye hammer on it na my education no ekoso ebeboa ama yen so yate ase because enye ye de this hard ye den ebaye. And then also issue about say obi to say Afia Pokua, obi to say the na Brefo, obi to say Sandy. In fact, in the media landscape, my juma pan, but I must say some more time you cry there. You guys are very fortunate. You guys are very fortunate, and I'll tell you why. Those days now they radio, any television. No. Say kase obi free. Evan Sibia Asempa FM, or free Adom FM. We're free a radio station be a quamonia, yentin can be. Ye better can be cry moana, it be a Christmas be occasion be ye see voice we are check, no more free the pacron can. But this time, you guys are still relevant because of social media na abana has a brought in more platforms on amamono. So one challenging factor me person me de mamo and say. Now, you should BBC, irrespective, sena social media, see a bebia all over the world. Still, BBC is relevant. Reasons being said, I get so smart, say, picky on international languages and more so languages na international. Try say, captures those languages onto their platform. And so, irrespective of social media, about 3:30, upeso kuti focus on Africa. About a certain time, upeso kuti in Hindu. Inti amatembia, they are staying relevant. So, one challenging a year, Madame Mamone say, Sister Sandy, Edina ya, and Sister Afia, Mama ye chi language, ye ever language, ye Dagomba language, kamuntimi pushi emayen namuntimi fanwura those platforms na so emayen sene beya tembia no Africa Ghana ye betimi ya stay relevant irrespective wherever we find ourselves. It's not about say, maybe no Casadana ya de okay me pa those days. Sunyani Erokopoku Piaro, Kobe. It would
Okay.
yes. And I mean, so I relocated to a year US. 80. In fact, me follow pa and one of the challenges when me trim, I'm a person me push here. Men coming to me here, a bit I make catch me say, Mona Medi a kind of journalism ne mono. Your best say, say, a yibi kwani a be ya BBC platform, and other a year a VOA platforms no. Yem pushy. Na at least yenya Ghana language be na intimate international. Na se debi ni wiase kura da because sister Afia, sister Ya, and a sister Sandy they timi push ma at least a Ghanaian language it be international. And I remember say time Doomso ba no. Doomso was captured in a dictionary all because of how vociferous that word yetimi pushy as Africans and as Ghanaians. And my yetimi capture our dictionary modia.
Fabi, na minim so be person be ka bibi wo we ho a.
Yeah, he's right. Say and they BBC or Mocha Pigeon. Or more BBC Pigeon. Or Nigeria for Pigeon into the Oma Afa Pigeon. I think I don't know how, but it will be a laudable idea to have a BBC tree. Minim if we have to write articles or we have to write for them to know the need and justify the numbers and why they should have, because on radio BBC has BBC Pigeon. Now Pigeon nkwano moka. News ni na Pigeon. So any bad idea, but this year I kon tokwafa asantene we this year akasa be na de kwapre wo BBC ho. And also another thing. The idea the
me feel say was say we to the be we must was say so ye check here ho. Ya de kasa na didi atama ma say ya ma ye kasa no so nya ya akono. Because oba social media kasa omu didi atam nyina ye akan kasa. And I was say I started cautioning for say ya pese ton ye kasa ne dia. Atem didi no ya ma ye say kasa ni nyina ya atem didi. We must stop that. Cause anyasa ko BBC na go kasa on kan wa. Many BBC America me nye. Because BBC no so British voice can edit o. Until before be select language say no so no tun say faso be na wo say faso be no benya wo so. Say wo to me fan the taxpayers can kwhye bibi mu a faso ni so. Di ya ma say uba social media kofo bi wa ka so nka twi o person be ka. Me husband kan dey be o ka say na ye ka ho ne ama nkofo edidi atem no because ye twi radio station na ma obi ayefo nti obi edi atem. It's ya pese ye de kontana sha ye policy ye kasa nka ye patem didie dodo asema obi kan obetimi a kire wadwen no otuma obi abeso odi I don't know meaning baby you see as I dey free
I mean the traditional media omo Brefo no hardly would you hear insults from omo. In fact me ba me who say media houses are kan ho say me BBC, Sky News. In fact they almost so kire o madwen pa o. But in a very polite manner.
And only assembly.
Trump went to England, left there a day or two ago. One paper wrote, "The ego man is here." So I didn't paper no your try no. Then they were reviewing a Sky and you or more paper review segment. Nani pan the headline here, "The ego man is here." Who can you treat more and yasam ketwa on everything. And we should find a way. I don't know, but as a nipa no or kakasa fufro bi kra ka ho no te tree or ya no the tree na no di atem di ka ho no kra fia me no ya dream. If we find a way to kasa no ye betimi ye ma ho nte ye ma kasa
na ye ka bro fa enko mu di atem bebre sa ye ka tree ne ye accessible. Nti obi anya bi ka ye bro fo na ye sisi enko mu ntumi di atem ko obe na no we di atem o bro fo mo am te bro fo no don't mean the atem no. Baba be access I was say ya policy ya kasa nen mo nyamba. Ansa na yakoton kasa no amono. Na wo de di atem a. Wo ka cho bi so hunsia o be den no asua. Me wa Harvard Fordham University there's a whole Ghanaian professor o chire twi. Oh, ba ya makasa no en mo nyam na kofom. Ya because ye promote twi na ye betimi oh ye promoting zema ye promote even kan. But say ye kasa ni na di atem. We shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. Mr. Bonsu, yeah, who comment you have to make it.
Yeah, me just Afia
Yeah,
na
but me comment in kaka no be answer nya kwan ache na dwen bi. I think go be bra be.
bate. Aye kwa otra be ko na day nti yese ye kan tente bi da. Stephen das ne star na ya ne send bi da wase. Ne akonya mo da maya privilege mo da maya se intimi ne me kasa. Na star ya ka bi se ya de. Winter do kwanya mayo ti winter ne ba de na obi hu pa. Winter ne ba ene obi hu pa. Wa do na America bi dwena ko Ghana. Na de me kan bi say yeah, media no, and sometimes obi nya kwa no betra live program na so betra na ni kwa no ensem bi obeka eni nipa na o host program no because of say ebe kakra no politicians ne ebe pakimu nyina off na omodo mo nkrofo abegu because of say bekasa nenya anodin bi na enipa hu say o ti say na bia ye ba onye dibre say because onipa no host program ko ani ntimi entie nipa no o te nim na o kakasa enye no ntimi ntia no because of say eno ma bi hye de chi ana ode ba ye obi wo so a yehwe mu obaye no kra no onye hwehwe mu bia o tam asem no na de social media enka ne TikTok asem bi si a so be investigation hu say asem we trodo anasese na tie no onye ne saa ana media no so no penifo no mu bia nyuma no akatua na omode ma wo no se de musika da enye because of say obepe cheap labor abra ontimi train no ekwan pepe bia so the way okọ out kra na obe interview ni pa kra no se wo ho yenka bibi say obi papa wu obi kunu wu bi yire wu o ma microphone so no de ko chena no ase be no pese o catch rewo de na o pese obeka at least ebi ni nua bi kra won chen ne wo fa bi won chen ne busua ni bi PR bi won chen a obetimi abusa na nsem 1 or 2 bi na okunafo na ni dansuo ni mu no na ni atotogu emojam no ne ekubisa na nsem ase be no pese o catch rewo enti wani nyina ne ye no man keten a eba ye social media any TV life obi ehwe bie no ensem na esi so no ana ehye da nye papa obehu enipa no host program kra no adwen pobi ehye ne trimu no obi na no na oyin sort ana say odidi atem because of say the ompeno ana the on turn achi no obeka say etia no na bia asumasi ba wonya bibia free no ho sa no mani nyina ye no ma bia because one host program kra udi atem na the onu fetch but dey na opso onye ndi mu indicate ye ho na mu amu penifo mu asha se da ye mi de kwa de mini de we sitie kra na mu indicate ye the way a ye ba ye besi akasa obi call out to interview bia do besi ye de besi nipa na sem no ni nyina no ese mo church ye da mo se mo ba stream mo ba social media because say one adwuma ne wo say TV ni radio no kra na be kakra no politician be pack mu nyina mo afiri wo na abaya kana social media yen twani obi a onim de wi a media ho sem sitie enso because onya say no pay viewers or pay likes ni adade no na o di je sa no mani na tie ye da mo se mo ba live na mo ye mo twani e kakra na atim didie enne de wi a tribalism esi kono ko bia enye ba ye penifo no politicity intimi nka e be hadwe bi da mase
Zabonso ya dasi baby. Sandy, I don't know so say who make you reference to it asana mako so ana mefa NKD.
If you Obi can be about Sandy, sorry, you just briefly. Obi can be about omo ekoshe no na bottom no ide omugumu. In fact, we were quick to react so early at the time when it happened. It looked so bad that like we had to say something about it. But later on now, omo a swab body no. It's a reason why they decided to use it. And no, a hona sa wasema if you can say you need to so actually it will be some answer. We are quick to speak because then the people said, look, bag na ye different depend. What would be by you? But depend eshi so no crash into amudi gumu na nane Emma even button cry na be nani gu omo ho. It's the best thing they could have done at that time. And I say, but you see, the bad thing about it is for us to see That and yeah, if you have 3 days, not me susa, and it's not. I'm not. Meaning, you when you are close with them or you've worked with them before. Me cry, yeah, for. Yeah, now for central for by virtue of being media and now you more interacted, gone worked with them several times, several places. How me react here? See, and I won't be surprised. That is why the president himself couldn't even hide his tears. The first lady couldn't hide her tears. And it's all because of what we saw on social media. How Niama or Tanta say, Bye when we are boy be true. Aquano nipa na cake. What's his cake, right? And nipa go our more program nothing a tone koye. But I haven't yet seen to a tokro because I'm sure I'm more fine the minimum.
Yeah, cover ni nyina from
Me hui.
CNN to whatever, be a cover.
I've not seen.
Be a cover.
Yeah, so you bet if you are the camera and the bed in a show, ye tokro no mo baby a tokro no fire.
O kabana kan ko bi the body na ye bone ti o mo je
Na me catch them.
abeto abonten.
Quite of fast so te hwe ye na tokro no it is say. Ye twani nyina mo say
And I saw microphone no. When mute microphone no. Yeah.
it was very, very bad. And nothing as they are saying, say we like because the first people they be on the Babonte person bloggers and I wanna bees. BBS in theatre.
Sandy, that's it now.
Yes, but you see, Nana, I totally agree with you that we were quick to react. But again, as watchdog role na ye play no, I think we also have the responsibility to be able to act responsibly, in the sense that we should not because at the end of the day, I think a situation like you explained, say, and they were pressed, they didn't know what to do because of the condition in which the thing was. And on my year, but even I say it was not also protected because you saw say locals and no more. And see, people had mobile phones. So I'm sure even somebody who has no knowledge about journalism or anything and will try and will spread their movie.
Not minister or
fine, let's say that
security for
No, Nana,
they all watch though.
There be almost one vim na almost one day kono.
Almost one day no more matter instruction.
Now regional minister.
They were there. So let's assume that Obia Basa, they didn't even see so Obitra. You understand me? Somebody filmed it. Probably Obi no try or demand a bushini. But once it gets to the fourth estate, which is the media, we have a role to play. I remember a CNO on my show, I called names. I called Joy out because Joy should know better that you cannot air this on television. And just like you said, no, Omodi 200, like I was broken because like you said, some of us have had the privilege to work with some of them before and we know them. And so even on my show, I did a whole episode on it. I was broken for the mere fact that I saw humans being carried in cocoa sack. No, it broke me down entirely and I didn't know what to do. But again, who failed Ghanaians? How was it seen? Let's say Kamudi to social media, we can say that, okay, social media went viral, but you that you're supposed to protect and know better and inform better, you put it on television because of what? Why would Joy want to put that image on Joy News? I think it's irresponsible journalism, and that is where I have the biggest problem. And see, I call them like, you should know better. You should be ashamed of yourself. And I think is that quite said, we want to be the first to show it. It's dehumanizing to show people in such manner. And we failed as media organizations to protect their dignity and everything that was happening. And we just put them on TV like that. For me, it was, I don't know. It was just below the belt for me. So in as much as we are blaming the new era, social media, everybody is doing journalism now. It's not unique to anybody now. Me know why yako school ya boka because to me yebi. Ya boka o te say ye nim se na beba be ye franka school no kwa ya anko bia anko tuya ho kase ye kwa akoye ba kwa ya ba. But everybody can do journalism now, thanks to social media and mobile phone. And so the difference between you and that person who filmed the thing is you that have gone to school and know the ethics, the profession, the demands, and how you're supposed to safeguard and protect people. And we are failing every single day because we are competing with numbers, trashing, and everything, and we put it there. It's a disgrace. It's not good.
I agree with you. You said disgrace. Yeah, now what's your final level? Which one? Yeah, we must be distinguished. Say we are professionals. We are bloggers. But now you can't tell the difference because you're now foot too fast. Yes, I say it's terrible. It's terrible. NKD, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Afia, mbacho mechiamu nyina. Echiamu nyina. Mbacho demeka akran se Sunday we dey emo ba mu mbuwa na ade no mo amasua ade no yenim mo ya ye be hu say we you see when you are demotivated because of others now, then we will not see the difference. So more reporter and as more news and as more your broadcasting now. Some of us, we know who is doing the professional work. And so when some news is coming from some people, we go for it. But there are some people in Ghana, or reporter there, we need to go back and check ourselves because we don't trust the source. No, more bad. Is this if you want to study Ghana and say bad news, so bad news, say selling no, AI too much. Bad news sells. Enti ama ye abuse that kind of strategy na ye use no. See, say van say sebe adom show image bi. Now the other station in show, but then say people are not going there. Ghanaians are having the mindset say I don't find show a day we na we mu show. So they will not come to you. And it's business. I mean, obia beso onya edom eba ho. So they will also compromise. Now for the obia show the enye no. You see, that bad news sell, no, and social media, no research, nothing. What we need is that we need to bring the views coming up. To the extent, says some people even arrange for fight and beef just to bring things, happening. Sometimes, I feel like there are certain things wrong that you move in say, I do counseling on social media, but you will see, say, even the counseling session now, I will advise people to do certain things, you won't see the views going. But the moment you bring other people to come and insult, you see the views going like 1K, 3K. So the bad news sell agenda, mean how Ghanaians we can stop this kind of thing. It is not always the bad news that will sell. Here, 18 years, 12 years, to her. Now I call like 14,000, 15,000. But you see, Sister Afia putting a very serious analysis be or platform, so you see almost 40 likes per. Why are we doing this? Sister Afia, I've worked with Emirates Airlines for 4 years, and I always cite this example with Dubai. Share in so town, Sebi, in so tall Dubai airport, Sister Afia. Ghana, we are blessed. In so tall Dubai airport, a flood whole planes in two, especially US flights quite there. They will not even move because omo use Airbus. And so the omo say, wow, airport what they do is that they take your phones. You don't have to take video, you don't have to take pictures. Say a flooded. They have some perceptions, say you don't have to sell the bad part of Dubai to the world. And Dubai say Sheikh Zayed Road, near you Hatchrow, Burj Khalifa, near Hatchrow. Do you know what they are doing? See, Ghanaians, we are not thinking so much that investors are being unattracted to Ghana because of these things.
NKD, intentionality.
Me tie mo pa, ntina me bo no, me tie mo.
Intentional about how we
Yeah, me tie mo pa, you are saying it and I listen.
national policy.
Yeah.
If we don't fix our national policy,
Yeah.
never can win United that can we still be in this.
Yeah.
Your national policy, we now do our video call.
Yeah. And you say, yeah,
their national policy.
Yeah, Ghana for no. You see a pejuma here, basta Afia. We rather promote the worst part of our country to the world. Ubon say obi bloggers bi wa or call the village 11 toilet bi or no akotwa abeto social media to make investors see what omeden. But at least utwa some creativity bi ankora bi aye And Krabi or Ghana, they are very good. Omo are talented. You bring them to the limelight. Let the people see what they are doing. No, we invest in the people. They will bring factories to the country. We all get job to do. But obini ni kunu kun them can hear chat. Need a better commentary or social media. Does it really bring something to the table? And why? Intimisramo, I'm saying the more there. Sometimes these are the topics we are supposed to be talking about to bring that kind of mindset. Yen you to now, yabano. Meaning, but the negativity of bringing things out near too much. Say everybody wants to get the bad news to sell. Everybody wants to get the bad news to sell. And to one say, it's a journalist. Some of them are being entangled. Almost the more gym. Almost the more the bad news sales nimu. Until am I a radio stations, TV stations in nano. What to select? They're like, is that uchim to annoy chima because you want to see who is speaking the truth.
Okay,
It is very
your point is made. I can sense your passion. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Good point there. Good point there. Nana Romeo.
Yes, madam.
Romeo.
Apo me.
Yeah, so.
If you are ana mama beto any nana ya nyina any Sandy. Mo nyina mo eyi nti mo ya de pa nyame nhira mo. But me problem ni say one say Ghana media no. It said yes na obi mo aka before no. Is obi be ka say on no so breaking first news. Obi the way crowd say first news good in that I could be me. But one say Sunday morning
Best.
o say
Sunday adwuma na okay. Yeah, first in news.
best in news
Best in entertainment.
exactly. And the Sunday morning no one e ma ama for mo rush.
Papa mi bo na ya we de mama nkwa na se wo so ko hobio.
And one thing I'm say more media for no and can say more hold the politicians not accountable. Obi be tramo station or no and obi be tramo ni no can sem na. But I can say the all can but yeah ata mitimi TV na me say amus room na say one person or cannot challenge you kakra na say we dey anya here because we name source until they we dey anya. But challenge no so one prove on sorry free or no nko. But mu be man atra ho no aka ne trust o kan
sorry Romeo sani edi nana ya atem no nte ya na sa no ye na wo ya na ya suma squad full soldiers ye be ye to da kido ka ukunu ana obusu afọ beka jose di adwuma no
If you are politicians no so na suma omo.
amona so
The issue came up e Ghana.
nana ya Brefo hu bra wa bra sister ya bra o wi ase di ye o man ye no
We crown to from say a trade and damn women.
no
Me hu sa na me siri wo me trip.
na fio mo wow ejuma na mo ye no mo ye ama yen a yentimi emba bontin kasa no me metimi fa ma kensi menim enka de mo kan ba mo amomo ho no mo kama yen hu se mo kama yen no wonim se ejuma no say na tie e na wakom enti wakom no be sure me di soja be say soja ukwa ene obetimi wo chan betimi wo enti that is my life me wo ene sisi a me no kasa me to na me wo am okay. Enti saa na muso mutimi gina ho ma say okay ye kama mamfo no enti the obi ba na obeka ata the politicians no both sides especially NDC and MPP the most are name omo kan gina e yentro omo nka ade a ebesisu we be promise heaven and earth oba hwe we su ba we promise we su be ba na hwe na mo media no mutimi hold mu accountable enti ya na ye bi no no ya even mameka o Finland ha me wo yi ohun media ni bia obek kan jina say enti government ohun say government o ya de no nya de omo adwen show mutim say time no so a no ma go vote against no aha ye go vote a enya me wo fie no body paper brand say me go vote me fi ho no ma pakpakpa no ma vote mantime nko a ukọ no ma line bia ni ho ukọ no go vote no ukọ baby but Ghana de bia politicians no omo high almost democracy expensive but omo fa ho didi one politician be oba no non crash but for be ko no na fun yan ma es gracia OS Gracia, TV allowance, entertainment allowance, travel allowance. Travel allowance no obi oye juma wo.
Unu anum bi kura gusu send message na yakwaji sika ntini entumi nkasa no hwe ye mene nana ya ne sand ye nyina start ye adwuma ansa na okuje to black wa be ye adwuma ye nyinche okuje to black wa ye omunya ye meto ye nyinche okuje opon kroma nti mo betna comment section na mukeka ise hu
You know when I found out that I was even older than them, I was shocked. I was
if
like,
you have bro mu no munye ye classmate nti wo beka so mo no ye me start say me social security no be 18
Yes.
maybe 18 nti wo pa che say ye te an ye ntumi mbo bra just a politician ma is Ghana nti ye te ye wiase nyina ye ndidi just a politician. In fact ye before ye be pochi ye for Sandra ye pochi no from TV3 to multimedia onim sika ye de man answer nana ya ye pochi no from first a Peace FM to Adum, from Adum to Angel, from Angel to TV3 onim sika ye tuama ye except footballers no me ye pochi me from multimedia to Despite onim sika ye tua nti more the fra obia say obia kwaji sika it's unfair. It's not say obia mon kind of cry about Ghana no.
Yes.
Yeah, respect ye hono. Ye nyina pese ye je adwuma no. Because you doesn't feed us.
Me mamu jayo.
Sandra you could in free Ghana de na kwatena broche. Nana ya we free Ghana. To say ye cry ye push it some on Ghana. Mo nyina ye pese ye je adwuma no because of senseless comments like that.
Munya wo be call back. Ya nyina ye call back.
Ye ni sika bebre dia but ya so ne ye de na obra ya bo ye okay we don't need politicians to give us simple and ateku no we don't enye obia no di obi achi for money o enye obia na sika nti na oye adwuma we mo bebre wa ye pe edimpa no enu nti na edimpa nti ye se ye nye adwuma ni be ebejai. Enti mo kona se mutie bloggers na se mo de mo hwe na nya ese mo la mo fa ye nya biem
Dabi ye ntio mo sister ya ni
Dabi o ayi nene me practice nene wona nka ye o yere na nana ya Brefo de fa nana ya Brefo as a point of ayi the way I sister you wo wi ase e ye wo yere
ada na one fa wo nya example
what de say me pese me ye to say selfish I'm focusing on myself ti me ma wo nya no we example.
Yo, Mati.
Enti woni nti obema bia wa nipa ne pose look jaye adwuma no. Jaye adwuma ko munim say yankasa ne e ka kase enjaye enjaye. Ye we ka hole gusa me ne nana ya. Adwuma ya election cry was ye koda ye ti adwuma ye ndada ne ye ti adwuma mu.
And it's true. They all kind of
we don't get anything but ye pedim papa no. So you did a good job. You did a good job. Ye pe no.
This is Afia. Moi,
when you say, I told you, just like you said, no. I told you the attempt to make cow no and answer with bushing phobia. They don't, and they are not even part of the whole thing. Make our media by and say, brother, a bedi me share the koya or can come in 170 or moka. And I think sometimes omuchi and crofokwa mamu, baby or the bepako to obia, they come under those posts and then they bring in your family members. You understand me? And I always, as I see those people, like you lack the intellectual ability to discuss intelligent issues because as someone banana can, then you come and put my personality there and address me. And then I'll bet me out what comments said, Jandam ladies, and I don't know if I come on, what has it got to do with this? And so sometimes, like you said, no, be too for say you cry jai because at the end of the day, no, it be kawama be kwako cannot in a baby on yeshi. You understand? Right. So we're gradually losing experienced people. But one thing I've noticed about Jelani is me by US and I say the more experienced you are, the more knowledgeable you are. Institutional memory is one. In same way, Sister Ghana has said, I can sit there. I've not read about it, but I think because of the memory that I have, institutional memory, I can close my eyes. I host a show every day. Some of the things I don't even discuss, but I don't read, but the institutional memory is there. I know. But gradually, all these things are gradually moving out of it, and you're putting socialites, social media content creators on a teaching. What can they offer you? It's because the experienced hands are gradually tired of the job and they are leaving. Okay. So I think that when issues come, unless of is, and I think it's just politicking and am I say because asemba na yanka na anto wo party asoma you think it's against you, so you must insult to be able to oppose what is being said. And I think that is our issue. We cannot focus. Sorry, sisters, maybe Jamwako, my time is up to go for my show. And then they may all bad and I never mean a serious issue.
Yes, Andy. Yeah, steady yo.
David Andra was very good yesterday. We did a
training now. We are them. No, now they back where you know to know.
David, yeah, Brett.
Maybe one now we like no actual relationship was empty. You, me, I mean discussing relationship.
Yeah, the freaky
Fridays. Relationship as I am not an expert in relationship. We should let you know.
I don't know how to meet this stress.
Yeah, politics now. I don't know if you and I don't know how you do it. Yeah, politics now. I mean, to me, a dominant party. Say yesterday when we were even doing a boost story, say almost 600 viewers yesterday. But sometimes the insult me, I'm not able to take it honestly. So what passion, Mister? Into Fridays. Into Fridays, now my coffee no bad and I asre ne akoda enwa.
Sunday, it's not the husband. Bema de jaw bet me do some funny to me there betwa so na enkola no ne hatwe. So dem chi enkola no how the omo kan no enkola no ne hatwen. Ebi ka na omo refi omo ho say yeso ye wo enkola wo fi a if you say things omo so ko school omo on afofo omo so like how they will even be treated, how the kids will, I mean, psychologically, what you are doing to the kids. Remember, there's so, yeah, but when you can always, they can understand why people do this. But how do you explain to your child who is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that the way they are do what terminal, better say. So, but I don't know, it's a job I address here,
Sisters, I love you. I'll see you guys. Let's do this more time. I appreciate
you. Sandy. Sandy, cheers. Bye. Yo.
Vim.
What's the
point, you know? Yanya sharp 1 minute, obisi yanya 1 minute, 1 minute, so do be a benya time. All the Kasana, I thought I was 1 minute. Why?
If you are good evening, Mechamunina. Made me kasa about professionalism kakra. Made me do a church so many years. Just a quick one. And no, na many Sunday I dream say onim kwa anka wanko school no. First pa me say obey interviewer who say particular. Utimi kwatena University of Ghana. Wo say working kayana when you are in operation yeah. Ebisa relevant question ubia te say slay queen so say the makeup nko Omo ko hwe makeup on kwa vim eno kwa no omo nsiom ko ye research omo bisa relevant questions and omo be tenta onom na dressing kwa na omo de TV no so e say wu na ya so kan say politicians in share private media from penifo na chini nya so kan who work multimedia. I remember pa am call election they be a from regime changes they be na every 4 years bia mo every 4 years bia mo anti I know they hold them say you have a tough skin waje anti mo social media na at least same follow mu kakra na mo education in so na sa slay queen stand journalism they say ebu yesu okuru ma dodo me dance.
Yo, that's it. I say more. After
Meda wase so pacho mechia mpanifu e woso nyina pacho me de platform bia mefo so no mefo so say meton yura onabo kene Japan ntisanka mesre obema makwanya 5 minutes ka me fan ton yura kene Japan
the next week because another time not to I send the person upon another so call ya change next week
no ba me 1 minute no okay na me da say me 1 minute
no next week no ba na why
Mati okay MPP delegate mesremo anwumre me boy record Japan ho
company me change here you know why me say can say no politics no Nas mbacho enti good evening
Vim mechia oni nana ya ni Sandy em say enye tembia na mitiwa mene wo ya adwe ba ma follow ni nana ya from time am call Germany sa ndinana ya sira waba US ne men ko bi mu men Ghana on de men ko jiwosu die ne wabusiafo e wo mu ha no wosu jiwo die na eja sese nkura no media
Asa
no
na
se
ka de bi okọ US ba yi na ko baza no.
there be one metinam one tinam one Ghana on de on dog omo because they said the brand they can make up for no door so mono mo professionals won and as they say kra nyame adom social media na ama say obi wo Ghana kra nipa wo mo hwe bebre wo Ghana no mo hwe nti mo nka motimom na say un say de mo call German na mo ye na Coffee TV konya Coffee TV free mo no nti say vim kra de wo platform dada wo ye wo de banana ya ye say wo so ebi a wo ba no branding na wo ebi a kamu ye na wo so wachi wo no na ya bibi TV
Obeye na si anti follow
na YouTube no say mo na mo professional nti sika na ewo no mo so mo nje mo de so me say can person me dabe 2 hours ago ba mo nti ma gina so sa because share mo platform say atem de bia ni so obia follow one dede bia ni so nti e den ya make a fund omo mbeti omo no beti omo mo so am professionals because mo nkwala o Ghana se news bi bana Ghana wo pese osuma obi kra na okofa brewa obetimi de abro platform no so enti se obeka ko ejuma bi o radio station na de obeka no ona no because of ono di political party echinti no o ma won ka wo so platform ni what I say nti wa ba America wo studio kama bi obeye wo de news bi e free Ghana bi obeji na wo de abemaye sika no YouTube ono magemu de o anu magemu de we nya afi na obi ko mama 10 million 50 million sa omusika na omusa di control mu no ntimi yesra mu se mu mi ase die munya no correct team so ho because mo dem akọ school adwin no se mo kasa out mu se professional dem at say dey obi be church and dam no me say Kevin mitie no ba sa jandam no be church there na me ne nya adwin me ka jam say mo nya jandam ladies mo dem mo ye madwuma time bi asa na tie nti mo mbo madwuma na ya menko bi mo America one day oba ndie tenazi.
So now see that's we why you know.
That's it, yeah.
Apia, rapia.
Yeah, although
Pachete also.
you me mama jo any obi a oba o platform isubia. Yeah, me show live from UK Telford now. Na ne aye obi a any vim lady we moye obi a na me follow mo pa tama na me wo Ghana no. Me follow mo pa especially na ne ya me so ye frame me ya wonti no. Me hu me say me so name a obo dwuma sa na na me ni age. Mu nyina ya follow mo said anuano mo ka no. Some of journalists ni bi ene omama politicians no erura omo ibinum a omode omofu nenam no because obi ebetimi a convince no de sika kakra bi no de atono nti ade no said also oka no onka ne sa eso so sise Ghana sise said de aduru no e wo say journalists na eyema empanimfo no omobedi eso especially politicians no wo say mo na mo hold omo accountable also mona mo hold omo responsible emo mo ye adwuma e de boa citizen no because na na ya menya akwanya tu kwai ba UK ha say no emra e wo krum ha say no obi an ha wo emra na e wo ha say no wo de obi anya wo hwe na emum kotomra na hwe ade wo fia na ye de letter bro say ade say na wo ye evidence ni nyina akire wo say anamo say na utu e kwa say na afa so ya charge wo ya ma short time bi wa me ya ye de wo be court e be prison enti ha say emra no ye adwuma obi anfo so bet individual no citizen no mo krom no obi edi so ade na ye krom ho no no Ghana o ye ntimi ni sa amra ne so because ye mpanifo bi tu kwai ba school ebe sua omo mra na wo ha say no but omo ko Ghana omo exhibit that experience ni nimde na ombenya wo ha no wo ye krom ne omo ye ade a emfata ade ntine mpanifo ni ntimi nye sa nti yesre mo omunya kwai ko radio so no mo mpanifo na chi mo mpanifo na chi no mo ntimi nye enye because me na me teacher ni o ma kira de be 10 years e wo Ghana na me firi ho amaba enti sesenka enema ya anka me ma awowe mu ko sori anopa kwadwuma wa utimi say yes but wo be ko don't I say enti say empanifo toto ne ema yi anka ye nyina ye busuafo ho ma metena obi ma so ne empesi kama wo mo ha say taxes a obi tu akra anya sam keto a
Yo Collins, Brand Collins ya da say
All right.
A good advice. And how can we continue to do our best, mum dear. I don't know, sir. Nana person. And I'm a wafa gaga watch us wafa. Good evening.
Meje osu meje mone mahema nom ye me humbu si anu mani aje ye
But
meda
you
wase
follow Nana and I'm follow Sandra. Sandra best artist is here on Sunny page live. And I also be no Nana live. Your best start another one for all new show.
mahema no de
You know,
me follow mo ache
why?
di
Mo
mo
follow
chi
accounts
di mo
in
chi da
more fire. New a be our crowd the beba. And to follow accounts.
ye wi akọ ye wi akọ me di mo chi sa mo wofa na vim me de hye wonim ade bi a wayɛ aboa me ka ne ne ɛwɔ ha wonim sɛ wo start ya na wo kyerɛkyerɛ emra me yɛ sɛ wofa na sa emra yi bi bebre ahodo Ghana na wofa me nkusua yi ɛdeɛ me wofa asi kekan deɛ wo sɛ wofa me so me bɔ kɔnten kɔkɔhwɛ mu bi ɛgya wo so ma yɛ fi aha me da ase na me bɔ kɔnten wo so kɔkɔsua bi no aboa me paa amene menye bitimu de kyerɛkyerɛ me wɔ faase ne made hye no na nokre da bia me ofa me ka asɛm bi sɛ ɔpanyimu tena fie ma nkwala we nanka a yebu nankarefo na ye kan omo ka ho bi yetia man Ghana mu ɛna mpanyimfo bi start tuatua sika ma amaba a wabi sɛ omo metena social media so start ni omo ahontem ene bo ho ba bia ba bewie Titok yi so enkrofo bie platform a okopie sika mo mo a ne yakɔhuru obi ne na busua potɔ ya na me hu sia na wofa me wra ho na ye me de paase ma de hye no ma nyamo de san komo wi aba na enne ba bia me bɔ hɔ kese ye man Ghana wofa obi amusa Titok yi so obi a woni wofa bia obi abusa me so wofa wo ye di ani a me se me ye Ghana ni asema de bia me ka no me ye Ghana ni firi sɛ Ghana ɛna me firi mimfiri ho ɛna mimfiri takwa na mimfiri Ghana na adeɛ baako a ɛwɔ mu ne sɛ momma yɛmmɔ man Ghana no ho ban hwɛ mede hye wo ba bronyi krom a ɔmo news no ɔmo ka no ɛnyɛ ne nyinaa na ɛkɔ international ma wote Ghana wo behu dabi ɔmo no de ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo de brɛ yɛn ɛma yɛhu bi no ɛna ɔmo de brɛ yɛn but omu local news ni ewudi sem ni niema basabasa ekoso omu kro no no omu mane ma bonten eso yen yeti hoyi enne me no kasasisi e obi wu na woso obi gine nkwa no obetwe phone e de akogina ho akotwa me se wono ne first person o post ye ne likes and followers nti enne obi wu a obi muwa ti o man ye kɔ ne se nie na yenhwe ade bi mesra mo asase ne yefre ne Ghana no odomanko nyankopon wa hyira ye papa na ne ma pa wo Ghana hwe me de hye me di Ghana ho adanse a kyerɛ madwuma mufuo last year me di nipa 9 ene ba Ghana mo bɛhwɛ Ghana ye call 7 regions ye di 10 days omo anna omo twa 10 days omo wie no mo san omo chi baaye Ghana ho dance
kwesi ada ya beto on Sunday we have another session on Sunday but Sunday they go blow ne but ya be nti ya na why
mesre se moma ye ni ye man no ho adanse moma ye mpromotu ye man no na enya brofo na nika sesi ame na okasai nipa 14 plus 10 aka nipa 4 no ho a next year me sign do omoba na obi akra de 5,000 euro na ebeba se sika ni nyina nka o man no mu ti mesre se moma ye mo ye man no ho ban ye mo ye man no dawuro ye nkyira brofo no se ye woni ma papa so ebo ye man no mu na emmo yo ba me da se
I think I know then na ya aka na ahase ne ya market ya man no bie no obe market ya maye ya na e se market o man ne o man ne ye kwako kan
yeah. Okay, good evening. But I was surprised when Mama Yakunya say because I'm 30, but this is the first time Madwene amba bekase.
Thank
Na
you.
mo topic na very interesting. Na kasa fa what they call journalism ho. Enim say mo na mo platform a mutimi nya akwanya a mutimi kasa ma yetie bi. But as an ordinary person like me, it be me that opportunity, to get start following. He said, maybe me check cameras in so a me nya nkofo etie me. Na ye share Ghana, ye share nanka the most feared institution anka tell Ghana pa should be the media. Ye share the most feared institution should have been the media because the media has the capability to educate and also expose the rots in the government. By saying most of the journalists and other media now align themselves to some political parties. And I don't know a wiki on for that reason. I did be cry and quay or anymore. Because I want line to that political party, won't mean can say in Ghana, most of the morning show do not acquire politics. Ubo said there's a particular station in Modi. They are spreading falsehood about ABA opposition party and they are preaching something good about the party. And we are journalists now. You find yourself in such station and in such way now. Ubo said, "Won't mean kind of correct." Now, so mine is better to point a general citizens in so. As some of the Bible and tell you bit and a bit mamma man a tumpon akodu pempensubi. There be a blame say your citizens and your papa, your me, you took one, but no American, I mean, can say. Maybe everything is totally different as compared to Ghana because of there be a one word in credit and actually one mine. No credit or actually one mine, starting public education. Although it be started in school, but me won't say the main agent of that public education should have been the media. Franka, there be a munya sakunyano, mode tinetine yen, mode siesie sana ya brabo, ebe koye, so the young engaging in corrupt practices, young engaging on Yama Bibremu. By saying, no, you're joining natural, journalist for a jazz and natural, and I want line it to a particular political party. And this is the fear, Messeremo. One of more, they said the mic in a sim and Mamukasa, a dredging, Nipadodo na team, and Messeremo. More use more platform aside doing the politics and so on, more for educating how to live in Ghana. Sana ya bra bono, ebe ya, ebe ma oman etumpon, because obi owa, and any person obe tukwan. But sana omani mo yen, hey, na dos, atem die ni ama enko so ye no. Enu ntina ma dodo na eden. Edwane afi omani mo amani mo enye attractive. Emma certain people. Intimacy more use more platform. Na more for educating. Na more align more to a particular party, either MPP or NDC, but you objective in your submission. So that people will be willing to listen to you. See, but that's a person who mama kwenye.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. You won't say, me pay TikTok. They usually they are a law.
Okay.
So law na mission. So that's what I me devote my time more. But on radio, yeah, okay, FM. That's where we are sometimes air politics. But it's more of education. The kakra yeah, so you bet me I the beboa and no. But like you're saying, I was here a course on here, because public education. That's the way to go. Also, minimum way anymore that. So I don't know if you are still there, Brausu. Well, I think you're not there. Indeed, it's been a very, interesting having this conversation. You're starting from Motun for those issues. No, and you can't say, I am fantasy. I am in a World Cup. We must insist on say a bit me push Ghana. Yeah, marketing on mine one. Yeah, to me, we must sell the country. That is how we started. And some do media days say we say we will not lie to ourselves, say 100% enkoye. So we must make sure say bema eduma no akoye. That's the only way I bet me I change your mind and grow the country. Inti ate ho ase. But yakopon ya na Sunday we have another live session be more law. We talk about because say that the number na case. Look at the way obia kasem no said the ope. We are doing that because we are not there. In the case, be a balance over can be make sure you have at least the basic facts of the case. Inti mumma yenjai goda glumba no matter what happened, I'm sure so no we say I'm sure so will kwa. So his issue should not even be a subject of public discussion. Say Timodo Broni, team na nyedma court. Eventually say BBN the matter has to be settled in court, not on TikTok. Ntomo mo ye na Timodo Broni na hwan no mo be no mo jaya munjai. So what I say, but Sunday we'll be going into the legal issues. That no me a video be about law. Me say law no requirement because I fra. Their requirement am run away so be do one ya why and valid. Uni obi be jaya jain ye completely. And sana wako worry. Yes, or bound for no wako worry na why and null and void. We will go into all that. Now no me Ghana news agency will be a Korea then you say the BBC ya jail no 3 years. You need a lawyer to especially if you are dealing with offenses now. Yaya laws here betim yem found yaya law Ghana how. Somebody be on my way, I am found to some more. Makasa, I don't know why people don't want to learn. Into a cobocron, simple stealing. Now I'm here to work to someone 4 years to say 7 years. It's per lawyer non will say plea bargain or be apply because one apply I don't to me farm out. Inti say banchi ana obi takradi die kezo ko wi ameko ye ne kotum 9 years. It doesn't make sense. There wo law wo no man. Yes say boni bi awaye na ye boni keto a ye betimi am watua the chronicle. Then you avoiding some. Inti Sunday we'll go through all those issues. Why? Most amode ye ken campaign Monica. Mo better mbo ken na mo ye proper campaign man. Yes obi live ase na mo be ba be kuntokwa. What I say? Sunday Sunday. Why? So thank you so much for joining us. If I'm a film lady, Bene Sandra Esinam, maybe kind of Nana ya Brefo no your main guest and any discussion, but to follow Nana ya Brefo down so. Nana ya Brefo down so. Follow her. I am not Lucifer, I see me fro. Lucifer, met Sunday. Why? Sunday, I'll give you more time because my fro is here. Enough time to speak. Into Sunday. Why? Sunday, you can get the time to say all that you want to say. Thank you so much and good night. Good night. Yakobo will be asking to. Munko follow Sandra. Mun follow Nanaya.